So, why all of this impropriety? And the obvious answer, neither of the bills could have passed. Neither of the bills could have passed a complete, careful review by the public. Neither of them could have passed a complete and careful review by the doctors and lawyers impacted. And neither of these bills could have passed complete and careful review by responsible elected members of our legislative assembly, if they were allowed to vote freely. So instead of a free vote, the governing NDP party forced a vote on the HPOA after only a third of it was read, a third of the 645 sections, possibly the largest package of legislation to come through the Legislative Assembly in BC. And they forced a vote on the Legal Professions Act when only 9% of its 317 sections had been reviewed. So what we have is clearly the flaunting of established democratic procedure. Both laws are developed and they're passed without notice, without consultation, without disclosure, without debate and consent required, without any of the things required of lawmaking in a democracy. This is not a little thing. This is an enormous thing. It's amazing that we're not out in the streets. But perhaps our civic apathy is something that has been long cultivated in BC. Essential to democratic lawmaking, full, informed, transparent consultation during all stages of development with the public, with the people most affected, and with elected representatives. It didn't happen. So instead, both bills, they're shrouded in secrecy and they're tabled. They only come to light when they're being tabled in the Legislative Assembly, where our MLAs are not given, where our members of the Legislative Assembly, our elected representatives, are not given the opportunity to properly and carefully review them. So, and furthermore, if this wasn't bad enough, it's hard to imagine it being worse, but furthermore, both acts authorize behind-the-scenes appointment of dozens of unelected, unaccountable, likely incompetent people to make in secret further appointments and further regulations even prior to the acts coming into force, not to mention when the acts are in force.